Recording.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hi, I'm Haley,
Florent.
and we did our project on the environmental impacts of COVID-19 waste, including masks and single-use plastics. Here's a quick overview. Over the course of the COVID-19 pandemic, research surrounding the environmental consequences of pandemic adaptations to life have become a more important topic as scientists have begun to trace the future impacts it might have on the planet. Upon the national stay-at-home order in March 2020, many people were forced to adapt to their current situations and create systems that would allow people some freedom while also following public health and safety guidelines. Increased numbers of orders for takeout food and online shopping have also contributed greatly to plastic pollution. One of the main problems we face today with waste management issues is that many people don't ever think about where their used masks, medical equipment, and other plastic waste goes. Just this past year, millions of masks and other plastic materials have polluted the earth because they don't get properly treated and are dumped into the environment. Since last March, it has been predicted that the world goes through 129 billion face masks and 65 billion gloves every month. Some sources have even projected that general waste pollution caused by COVID-19 is reaching levels of irreversibility. It is important to remember that COVID-19 will eventually go away, but plastic waste is here forever. Now we'll move on to some social impacts that are caused by these issues. Number one is masks are a necessary item to help prevent the stop of the virus. So there's nothing really we can do to stop people from using masks, at least for the time being. Number two, without masks, people are prevented from going outside and stimulating the economy, which is also very vital to our society. Three, people aren't very familiar with the new pollutants that have occurred during the pandemic, such as medical PPE and like other medical waste.
Okay, so we are now talking about environmental impacts. So firstly, those used masks can be treated easily due to some biohazard concerns, which means if we want to reuse it, you should first sanitize it perfectly. And if we want to burn it, those like PPE, the main components of the masks, can emit huge bunch of greenhouse gases and other toxic gases. And secondly, they're so light that these masks can be carried in the wind to pollute the ocean and other natural habitats. And certainly, plastics are so resistant to be dissolved in the environment, which means it can take decades for them to be fully disappear in the environment. And fourth, wildlife might accidentally take masks or plastic as their food, as we can see on the picture. This bird is having a mask in its mouth. So we're now moving on to economic impacts.
Yes. Number one for economic impacts, it costs a lot for consumers and companies to recycle masks, and there's no real benefit to recycle masks specifically because of sanitary reasons. And number two, many businesses like restaurants and like stores will suffer without the use of single-use plastic or like having people use face coverings.
Okay, so how are we gonna do to meet this issue? Here are some solutions. Firstly, we should definitely raise people's awareness about this medical pollution during the pandemic, which means we should encourage people to use more reusable masks and other compostable plastics. And secondly, we should definitely encourage innovations and contributions to new technology that can recycle masks more efficiently and create benefits in all social, environmental, and economic aspects. So that's the end of our poster presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.